Hey, I'm Glenn Kotche. I play drums with Wilco for the last 15 years and have a duo called On Fillmore for the last 18, 19 years and do a lot of other stuff, play a lot of solo shows and compose and stay busy. My earliest memories of being a drummer are actually like my earliest memories, which are 3 years old, breaking a drum. And I've told this story before, but one of my sisters for Christmas got me one of those little toy kind of tin drums with a paper head, and I remember just like bashing the head in with the sticks, thinking it was so much fun, and then realizing I could never play this thing again, and being devastated. And started taking lessons around 10 years old and was involved in junior high, the band program, which was really great where I went. And we actually did percussion ensemble, got active playing mallets and drum set. There was a jazz band, and then started really getting into marching and ended up auditioning and playing snare drum with the Cavaliers Drum and Bugle Corps, and going to the University of Kentucky and studying under Jim Campbell to get my bachelor's in percussion performance. And same thing at Kentucky, I was just a sponge playing in percussion ensemble, orchestra, for opera, anything and everything I could. Right after I got out of college, I started to be able to record and tour. It was my first European tour right after college, and kind of cut my teeth on that whole scene. And then through that, started playing with a bunch of different indie bands, Bird Dog, Edith Frost, Jim O'Rourke, who's one of my idols, musical idols. That opened up a lot of doors. That's how I ultimately met Jeff Tweedy, the singer in Wilco. We started a project called Loose Fur. And then I started to do some recording with Jeff, and he eventually asked me to join the band. And that was 15 years ago, and I've been happy playing in Wilco ever since. I've been using Zildjian since I was 12 years old. That's when, for Christmas, I got my first set of New Beat HiHats, and then would save up all my money. And I remember my first 22-inch Ping ride, and I had what was then a paper-thin crash, which was one of my favorite cymbals. So I've always used Zildjian and only Zildjian, and when I got the opportunity to seek out sponsorships, I went right to Zildjian first. That was 15, 16 years ago, and it's been a great relationship ever since. My setup with Wilco is always kind of changing depending on what products are out and what kind of touring we're even doing, whether we're doing like this, indoor theaters as opposed to the big outdoor festivals. I'll switch out cymbals for different occasions like that. But in general, since we have 6 guys on stage, I can't have cymbals that are too bright or eat up too much space. So I go for some of the darker, drier cymbals, but that still cut in big halls. And that's why I absolutely love my new Kurope medium ride. That's been great for me, the band. That's, instantly when I got that, after PASIC a few years ago, the band noticed. They perked up and asked, what's that new cymbal that you're using? I love using the K custom crashes. Those, I've tried a lot of different things, but I always come back to those. So depending on where we're playing, I'll go with a 17-18 or an 18-19 or 19-20. And then I've always kind of had an auxiliary crash ride down here, and it's filtered through a lot of different things. I've been fortunate enough that Paul Francis has made me some things over the year that I've tried out, and recently he developed a cymbal that I'm just in love with, head over heels for. It's a 22-inch kind of trash crash ride, and it's the perfect auxiliary cymbal because I do use it as a ride, as a crash. It's got a different sound. It's a little junkier, but it doesn't have the, I guess, the harshness of maybe of a proper China cymbal that wouldn't really blend with Wilco so much. And then hi-hats as well. I like a washier yet crisp but dark hi-hat, so I'm using a combination of some it might even be a dry light and a Kurope top. And then I use a little trash splash kind of in between there to get a little more, gives me a little more definition when I really step down on the pedal, but also with the splashes it gives me a washier sound. And I've always used 2 octaves of crotales. I had those before I had a sponsorship with Zildjian, and use them in all my projects. So I think I kind of use almost something from every little corner of the Zildjian catalog.